We're going to do some exercises with some dowsing. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the act of a witness. A witness is something that carries your energy field. When we are dowsing for health, we are dowsing people's energy fields. So, you need something that represents your energy field. Now, when I was learning from Hannah Kroger, Hannah said, we'll use saliva sample. And she would say, well, just stick a cotton ball in your mouth, and then she'd have people mail it to her. I started working with clients. I said, I'll take a saliva sample, cotton ball in your mouth, get it soaked, stick it in a plastic bag, stick it in an envelope, mail it to me. About 3 weeks later, I started getting envelopes with a tear in the envelope, and outside the paper envelope there's a plastic bag extending. And there's a tear in the plastic bag, and outside the tear of the plastic bag there's a dried cotton ball extending that has got many colors going on in it. Oh, it was really gross. And and that's when I said, no, I'm not subjecting myself or the postman to this business. So I now use hair samples, something from the body that carries your energy field. But that's not the only thing that a witness can be. Go ahead. A nail clipping would work, yes. But also, keep in mind, we're dealing with something from the subconscious, right? That's what a witness is, something that carries your energy field. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Your name, your signature represents your energy field. You can use a piece of paper with your signature on it. Your birth date represents your energy field. Your name and birth date. Your name, birth date, and guess Social Security number. Thank you. Thank you. I got it. Yeah. Your address. If you want to use a piece of paper, if you want to.
I'm confused.
Okay, you got all that worked out now. Thank you. Okay, everyone's gonna get one, even the undeserving. Oh, can't believe he said is undeserving. All right. So, on this dowsing template, you will see there's a circle at the top. There's a circle at the top. That's where your witness goes. You're welcome to use a hair sample. I would say, in the interest of time, just tear a small piece of paper up, your name, address, birth date, and make it your signature. Is Joe being disruptive again?
Yep, he is. Troublesome.
Everybody got this? Yes. I would suggest don't write it in the template, because then you can use it for other people as well. But I would suggest just write your name, birth date, address, Social Security number, and signature. Make it your signature rather than just, and that will carry your energy field sufficient for this exercise we're doing. Everybody got any questions about that? Forget a piece of hair. I'd say make it a chunk about a tablespoon's worth. You're going to need a pair of scissors.
Does anyone have pens at work?
Yes, I know.
Thank
That
you.
costs extra.
Something going on with self-expression now. We have pens problem. Okay.
Can I use a hair? That's easier. You need your hair?
You need a chunk about it. I don't think a single hair, but test with your pendulum. If you want to use just a hair, test with your pendulum and see, is this an adequate...
And we can just use our signature, right?
Yeah, signature's fine. Stick it in that top circle. Now, you're dealing with a scale that's got 360 degrees on it, yes? All right, here's the part of it I want you to be aware of. I want you to be aware of only the upper left quadrant, just that section. If you're dowsing and you're dealing with wanting to test a particular imbalance, let's say you have a pain in your Zorch. If your pain in the Zorch tests at 90, that means the symptom is as exacerbated or as intense as it could possibly be. If the pain in your Zorch tests at 0, that means that it's cleared up and there's no more evidence of the symptom. So when you're testing symptoms, you're going from 0 to 90. 90 being the most intense manifestation of a symptom possible, 0 being the absolute absence of a symptom when you're testing symptoms. When you are testing organs or systems in your body, say you want to test the health of your liver, well, if your liver tests at 0, that means the level of vitality in your liver is 0, and actually you just haven't had the good grace to lie down and die. 90 is the most exuberantly healthy level your liver could be. So you see the scale works two directions depending on whether you're dealing with an organ or a system in the body or a symptom or an illness in the body. Is everyone clear about the distinction I'm seeking to make here? Okay.
When would you make the distinction?
Why would I make that?
At what point do you flip it?
Depending on how the question you are asking, the pendulum. Okay. Now, the first question I want you to ask and is basically using this as a percentage scale. You could use this as 90 or 100. Using this as a percentage scale, here's the question. With you holding your pendulum over the very center of the circle, ask the pendulum to represent accurately the effectiveness of your dowsing now. What percentage effectiveness am I dowsing right now? You could be getting 100 for the most effective down to 0, not effective at all. The question is, I want you to be aware of how effective you are dowsing right now from 0 to 100. Yes, question?
You hold it over your signature or the...
Pardon, good question. Hold it over the big circle, the very center of the big circle. And your question is, what percentage effectiveness am I dowsing right now? Now don't worry, we're just beginning here, so don't worry about it's got to be accurate. Just see what that pendulum will say. Now, one of the things I encourage you to do, those of you who are just starting out, do not try to hold your arm still. No. Do not focus on, I am not going to move my arm. Please don't focus on that. You see, you get what you focus on. See, I want you just to focus on, hey, let this information come to the subconscious. Just relax and hold the pendulum over the center of that circle and just ask the question. Focus on the question. Rather than, don't move my hand. I know, I did this for months where I just held that pendulum over the circle and said, I will not move my hand. Nothing moved. Curious. Once you've got the answer, write it down. Percent effectiveness now, just write it down. Yes, question?
Is it okay to have your elbow on the table? Or do you have to have it on?
Well, it depends on whether you're eating dinner at the same time, because you cannot have your elbows on the table while you're eating, right? It doesn't matter. This is about you in your relationship with your own subconscious and your inner self. Just like do whatever you would do relaxed. If your elbow's on the table, great. It's okay. Does anyone need more time in order to accomplish this?
Which way do we
One moment, please. I've got a question here. Go ahead.
Which way do we look to recognize?
Yes. Use just this segment here from 0 to 90 in the upper chord. Got it? Thank you. And hold on. There was another question before you in line. Yes.
So my pendulum ran on this side.
Yes. Okay. Bad person. Can we get her out of the room?
I'm not left-handed, I'm right-handed.
Keep working at it. And what you're doing, remember, you're speaking to your subconscious. Tell your subconscious you want to use just the upper left corner. Yes, you're programming the subconscious how to use the dowsing tool. And one moment. You had a question there. I've forgotten your name.
Oh, it was the same question.
Thank you very much.
Well, I started out and was wondering, well, if it's going to go in a circle, how am I going to know the percentage? And I had questions and I didn't know what to do. And then I looked over as you were answering her, and I came back and all of a sudden it was going exactly straight at 60.
Thank you.
Distraction, maybe.
Getting your conscious mind off of the notion, I've got to do it right.
Really funny.
Yes, that's very good. Yep. And that's very often when we're starting something new, part of our attention is focused on, we'll just let this finish here for a minute. Part of our attention is focused on, I've got to do it right. Well, notice where you're putting your conscious focus. What you want to do is focus on the question. That allows the conscious mind to look at what you want and send the message to the subconscious. If you're worrying about I've got to do it right, then you're getting all sorts of mixed messages between the conscious and the subconscious. Anybody need more time for that part of the exercise? All right. Now we're going to do a little exercise to see, will it make a difference, to change something. I want you to do 12 alternate nostril breaths. Does everyone know what that is? 12 alternate nostril breaths. Raise your hand if you do not know what that means. All right, I'm going to demonstrate now. You can do this with me if you'd like, but this is the exercise I want you to do. Close off your right nostril with your right thumb and breathe in through your left nostril for a count of 1. Close off your left nostril with your middle finger, open up your right nostril, exhale for a count of 2. Inhale for a count of 3. Close off right with your thumb, exhale through your left for a count of 4. Inhale for a count of 5. Exhale for a count of 6. Close off the left and then exhale to the right with a count of 6. Inhale through a count of 7. Close off the right, exhale to the left, 8. Inhale, 9. Close off left, exhale to the right, 10. Inhale to the right, 11. Close off the right, exhale through the left, 12. Pick up your pendulum, ask the question, what is my effectiveness of dowsing now? And write down the answer. Does anybody need more time for that exercise? All right, everyone's got an answer? All right, now we're going to do one other exercise here. I'd like you to have a penny and hold it in the hand that you are not using the pendulum with. So grab a penny from your own stores. If you need a penny, I have pennies, and I don't trust you to give them back. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Need a penny?
Oh, I have, but I do. I'll take it.
All right, I'll take. You're welcome.
Nickels okay?
No, no. Penny, please.
Penny, please.
You're welcome.
I never carry money. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else need? Yes. Okay. So hold the penny in your hand, in the hand you're not dowsing with. Pick up the pendulum and again ask the question, what is the effectiveness of my dowsing now, carrying the penny. You with me? This is the third part of this exercise, okay? My God, there's a 1907 Indian. What is the effectiveness of my dowsing now? And we're going to do an interpretation here in a moment once everyone's completed with this exercise. Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this. Yeah, this is very interesting. It tells us something about that whole thing going on right there. Okay, all right. Yours won't even listen to you anymore now. It just kind of goes around in a circle. Oh yes. So again, if it's not responding, you might again tell yourself, just say subconscious, please use the upper left quadrant from 0 to 90 as a percentage scale, just to program it. Because it's interesting, as you're learning to use a pendulum, you have to be aware that you are consciously saying, I want to use inner information in these boundaries. You have to set the boundaries, and part of the boundary setting is learning to ask a question. Because often we say, well, I'll take the answer maybe. If it shows I'm not looking too stupid, I'll do this. If I'm not exposed to ridicule, I'll do this. Right. Okay, does anybody need more time? Everybody's got the third answer. All right, so now I want to just do a little interpretation. Raise your hand if the first question, how effective is my dowsing, was above 50%. So thank you. So most of us were above 50% for the first question. My dowsing effectiveness is above 50. Okay. Obviously, the people who didn't raise your hand, your answer was lower than 50%.
Oh, he said above. I said above.
Is it Mike?
Yeah, above 50. Means
What are the two causes of ill health again?
Not listening to teachers.
All right. So now the second question. After the alternate nostril breathing, how many people experienced the effectiveness of dowsing went up? That's almost unanimous, but not quite. All right. So obviously, the people who didn't raise your hands, your answer, stayed the same. Stayed the same. Great breathers, by the way. Anyone have their answer go down? Just a second. Just anyone? We can do this. Anyone go down? Okay, please.
well, at first it was straight up 90.
Yes.
The second time it was straight up 90.
Got it.
And then when I did the breathing, I kind of got confused, but I followed as best I could. It dropped down to 70.
I got it. So yours went down.
Yeah, with the penny.
No. Okay. We haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, well,
Stop
I
it.
had a penny in my finger.
Would you stop?
After that. So it was perfect, and it dropped down with the breathing and the penny.
After the
Thank you.
we're still there.
Gotcha.
Oh, how many times? We've done this 3 times. 3 times.
All right.
It's okay. I'm momentarily confused.
I've been there. All right. Everyone had your dowsing either improve, most had it improve, or stay the same with the alternate nostril breath. What does that say?
Oh, it was the same.
Releasing
The nostril breathing.
letting go.
And somebody said oxygen. What does oxygen do in the body?
Helps your brain.
Helps your. What does oxygen do in the body?
Energy.
And
It helps connect you to like the outer to the inner world.
Breathing is like chi, right?
it's energy. Okay, but you're missing something very fundamental here.
It's
And-
healing the body. It diverts your attention. Keeps you alive.
It's natural, really.
I got to breathe. I'm going crazy. Thank you. Oxygen is looking for a toxin. Oxygen's the world's best detoxifier because it's got an unstable outer valence. It's got an electron out there saying, "Give me a partner, baby." It's looking for a toxin. That's where we get energy. That's why all these other benefits occur, because it's cleansing. Okay, alternate nostril breathing before dowsing improves my effectiveness. Okay, I can do a better job of detoxifying my body. Useful information. There are all sorts of ways. We're not going to go there now, but it's useful information. Remember, the first requirement for dowsing is what?
Your body.
Your body. Absolutely. You want to improve your effectiveness as a dowser, improve your relationship with your body. Treat it as though it is the sacred element that you have manifest here. It is, no kidding, the temple of God. Treat it like that and watch what happens with your dowsing. Wow. I gave up addictions, and you know the worst one was sugar. I'd much rather give up drugs. I'd much rather give up nicotine. I'd much rather give up alcohol, 18-year-old hard bodies, and rubber boots than give up sugar.
It's in everything.
Oh yeah, it's a whole discipline thing if you're going to go there. But I'll tell you, the amazing, yes, refined sugars, not fructose or anything. The amazing thing is what we're capable of. We don't even have a clue what we're capable of. We say, oh, well, you know, you live to be 82 years old and you're really, this is a great accomplishment. How about 150? And I guarantee you, the body's designed to live much longer than that. How about 150? I was doing a healing class and I said, how about if we live to be 300 years? And a woman raised her hand. She stands up and I said, yes, go ahead. What is it? I don't want to be living with my husband for 150. Okay, so we'll just, kind of go into self-destruction and just die instead of dealing with the relationship stuff? Come on. Yeah, go.
Social security will not last.
I'll tell you, if we lived what we're capable of, the economy's going to hell in a handbasket. Because one career isn't going to be an answer, one family isn't going to be an answer anymore. Well, now the insurance companies never mind. How many people, after holding the penny, your dowsing improved?
Really?
Yes. Okay. And I would say it's at least half, if not more. But now it's interesting. This I will now tell you the story. You ready for the story about the penny?
Yeah.
A water dowser in Canada had an impeccable record for decades after decades after decades. He never missed a well. He goes to a farm. They say, I want a well. He says, okay, fine. He dowses. Okay, 87 feet, here it is, right here. The drilling crews on site, they know his reputation. This guy's never failed. 87 feet they drill. No water. He says, okay, wait a minute. 109 feet, right here, drill. Drill, 109 feet, no water. He's getting a little twitchy, This is like, oh my God. He finds a third spot, drill, no water. The farmer says, I don't know what's up with you, bub, but you're out of here. The crew packs up. The dowser, he's chagrined. He's never had a failure in his life. He says to the farmer, do you mind, could you give me a few bucks for gas money? Okay, fine. It's not that dowsers are inherently poor, but he was asking for some. The farmer's peeling off the money. And he says, I should have listened to my father. This is what the farmer's saying. He's peeling off the money. I should have listened to my father. I should have gone into mining instead of farming. There's a whole zinc deposit right under this property. And the dowser says, what? Oh, what does that mean? So he goes home, he does some testing at home with his dowsing, and he discovers zinc, for his body, interrupts that connection that allows the information to come through accurately. And the antidote is? Yes! And it's well known that as an anode-cathode relationship between zinc and copper, copper will neutralize that flow of energy that's flowing through zinc. And many of us are very susceptible to it. We've got zinc conduits running through the ceilings and the walls, carrying our electrical lines. Our undercoating of the automobiles is covered with zinc. We're exposed to a lot of zinc. Interesting, if you have red hair, you tend not to be so influenced. There's a copper bracelet, by the way. You tend to be not, if you have red hair, you tend to have more copper in your body, right? Right, because copper is what produces the red in the hair. If you have copper, the copper in your body, enough copper, the penny won't make a difference. Red-haired people tend, in these classes, red-haired people tend to say, didn't make any difference. Okay. But the issue is, if you have an environment in which there's plenty of zinc and you have a deficiency in copper, carrying a penny when you're dowsing, putting on a copper bracelet, I don't care, jewelry, it doesn't matter, but carry copper and you will find your accuracy increases. Please.
Well, I'm just amazed by this because, you know, zinc is in a lot of supplements, and I supplement with zinc.
Yes.
So I think I'd still like to supplement with it, but maybe just wear a copper bracelet or something.
Bingo. Of course, zinc is a micronutrient. We need it.
Yeah.
But in a micronutrient level, it is not an issue for disrupting dowsing. But most of us are being exposed to large amounts of zinc, and we don't usually have enough copper. But if we are getting trace minerals in the body, we're also getting copper as a trace mineral. That's a good nutritional thing to do. Just take a mineral supplement with trace minerals. Hannah Kroger used to say it's far more important than even vitamins. A mineral supplement with trace minerals. It helps the body do two very important things. I'll be right with you. One is trace minerals and minerals help the body naturally flush out parasites. Useful. We miss that a lot, but we'll talk a little about that later. We miss that a lot. Helps the body flush out parasites. It also helps the body flush out toxins. Chemical and metal toxins, the body will naturally flush them easier if we have a full complement of minerals. Very valuable to take a mineral supplement. I'm just there, brought to you by our sponsors. Okay. Now we're question. Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry. Please.
Well, you said about improving. What about if it went the other way?
Yes.
Mine diminished, almost to zero.
With copper. Yes, I would say probably your copper is not a valuable energy to have in your energy field when you're dowsing. Have you just started dowsing?
Yeah.
So you're new at it. So I'd experiment with it over the next few weeks, just once or twice a week. Put some copper and do the same test we just did to see, does it consistently come down when you've got copper? Yeah. You're going to learn things about your own body with dowsing, and they're important things to learn. We create our realities because we have a body. It's through our own nervous system that reality is unfolding around us. Now that sounds pretty wacko. I'm not going to go into it, but it's amazing. We need the body in order to be here. We need the body in order to douse. Now I'd like you to do another exercise. I'd like you to pick 3 different symptoms that you have in your health. It can be emotional, mental, physical. Write them down. And I'm not talking about a diagnosis. You may have the diagnosis of multiple sclerosis, and yet what you experience is an unstable gait. I want you to list unstable gait as being the symptom, not the diagnosis that you've been given. Is that distinction clear for people?
What about just that area of the body?
Then I'd say tightness in my Zorch.
Okay.
pressure and pain in my Zorch, whatever. Question back there, young man? No. It's all right, you lost your chance.
I was just trying to get clarification.
Okay, good. Thank you. All right. 3 symptoms. Identify 3 symptoms, and then with your pendulum, dowse for the level of intensity of each of those symptoms. So, I've got a pain in my Zorch with the pendulum held over the center of the large circle. I'm asking the question, what is the level of intensity of my Zorch pain? And go from 0 to 90. 90 is the worst it could get. 0 is it's not happening. You got it?
Do we put this in the little circle? The 3 things that we wrote down?
Like where we had our name, on top of our name.
That's it. Yes, you can put it on the circle. You can actually put it anywhere on the board, but you still need your witness in the circle. You can put it right on top of your witness. That's fine. What is the level of intensity of this symptom?
So the numbers from
0
0 to 90.
to 90. That's right. Right. And is it?
What's the question?
The question is, what's the intensity of my symptom? 90 being the most intense it could be, 0 being it's gone, it's absent, no symptom. All right. So I want you to rate, get a reading for each of your 3 symptoms. What we're going to do with this information about symptoms is we're going to see whether or not there are radionics rates that would be valuable for you to work with on this symptom. Was that confusing?
Yes.
Thank you for that. Thank you. What do you mean you don't speak the same language? Right. Now you recall that I suggested that when radionics was discovered, the fundamental notion that Dr. Abrams, the founder, had was that everything has its own unique vibration. Dr. Abrams was a wacko head. He had to be, because here's how he discovered this. He's a doctor. He's got a patient on a table that's got a stomach problem. Right? He drags a glass rod. You know what a glass rod? He drags a glass rod across the person's stomach, and he notices that the glass rod bounces a certain number of times. Does this sound like crazy? Yeah. And sorry, Doc. I mean, it really is. And then he gets a healthy client, no stomach problem, and he says, lie down on this table. He drags the rod across their stomach, and it bounces a different number of times. Oh. And everybody that's got a healthy stomach, it bounces the same number of times. Everybody that has an ulcer in the stomach, it bounces a different number of times, but everybody with an ulcer bounces the same number of times. Every organ has a state of balance, which is represented by its frequency. The frequency, for example, for the liver is 48, gallbladder is 38. I can go through the whole list, but that's not the point. The point is that every organ in a state of balance has its own frequency. We can determine what it is by dowsing. And every organ that has an imbalance, we can identify that imbalance, and it has its own frequency. An ulcer, for example, it has its own rate, and rate or frequency is the same. So I'm just looking at one here. Is there something simple? Not really. Parasites. Parasites have their frequency. For all species of parasites, there's one frequency called 1088. Now, the point to this list I've just come up with, these are very often used for a whole range of symptoms. I'd like you to look through the list, See if you can identify anything that might be related to your first symptom. There's blame there, blaming yourself, blame and bitterness for other people. There's self-pity, there's grief. Obsessions by elementals, entities, or by habit. Parasites, self-pity. Spinal caries are like dental caries, although they're in the spine. Fallout, and then rainbow and white light, we'll talk about those in a minute. See if there's anything there that seems to relate, could possibly relate to your first symptom. Please.
What are those numbers? Frequency,
Frequencies.
but what? Frequency rotations per minute, that makes sense, but frequency and a number doesn't make sense to me.
I understand. I would say it's frequency and energy, and it would be the difference between energy flowing at that rate or energy flowing at that rate.
But I understand that, it's just the
Okay.
numbers, some are huge. So
Yes, that's right.
So we're not picking something on this list based on the numbers, we're just looking at what are...
That's right. Is it possible that that particular frequency would benefit or not my particular symptom? So if you're having difficulty identifying what a frequency to use might be, give me an example of a symptom you've got that you'd like something to apply.
Low back pain.
Low back pain, okay, let's go for impinged nerves spine. See it there? Very good. And you had one in the, yes? The knees. What is in the knees that's a symptom? Knees aren't a symptom of themselves, they're just a body part.
I have that
told
too.
me that I lost, that I'm losing knee liquid, which is going into the seat behind the knee, which is leaking into the muscle.
Right, okay, this is a diagnosis, yes?
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
So
Tell me the symptom. How does it feel?
I can't sit squat on the floor.
You can't see what?
I can't sit on a floor like
Oh, I can't, okay. Stiffness in the knee. Stiffness?
Gamma to everybody.
No, wait, no, focus here. Focus
So
here.
I can't.
I got that. Now listen to me. Does that seem stiff to you?
No,
Painful?
no. Not when this, unless I reach the certain point, then I.
Okay, then there's pain.
Yeah.
That's what we want. Pain in the knee is the symptom.
Yeah.
Okay, got it? Good question. All right. Caries are cavities, like dental caries, cavities. It could be in the spine. Right. Anyone else have a symptom you'd like me to give you some input about the possible frequency here? Yes?
I mean, I felt like maybe just people have told me a lot of stuff about parasites, but cleansing parasites, but I have like pressure in my head and in my neck.
Pressure in head and neck. Okay, there's not, okay, here it is. It's not on the list. I want you to write it down. 101044. 101044 is constriction in the medulla and the cervicals.
101044.
101044. Sorry, I think I dropped out the last one. Got it? So 101044. That's constriction in the medulla and the cervicals. Try that one for that symptom. Yes.
And what?
Cervicals, cervical vertebrae. Yeah, please.
Fungal itching.
Fungal itching.
Fungus.
I know what you mean. I'm making a joke.
Well, after the knee thing.
Excuse me, I got to pray.
That would be a parasite.
The point is it's itching. Someone's diagnosed it as fungus. You don't know it from fungus or what. You just have skin itching, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I would suggest let's use just the frequency for skin, 101. That's not on the list.
So vision
You-
issues?
Vision issues, yes.
It's not the nerve, it's an eyeball with not the shape of a ball, but the conical shape.
That's what the diagnosis said to you, right?
Keratoconus, yeah,
Yes, but all you know is that there's what, a vision?
fuzzy.
fuzzy vision. Okay, go for impinged optical nerve. I know what
Looked
they.
at it, but yeah.
You tried impinged
No,
optical.
I didn't try it yet.
Okay, try it. Let's see what happens.
What are we supposed to do with this?
I'm going to get to that in just a minute. I'm answering.
Give her a number for the pain in the knees.
Pain in the knee, I believe. Did we say? No, we didn't say. But I would say. No, it's not on there. Pain in the knee. 104. I would say for pain in the knee, I would start with blame or self-pity. And you've got blame or bitterness or blaming yourself. Question here? No. Okay, yes?
Just out of curiosity, like, some of these make a lot of sense to me, like, oh, when someone feels this, it would match up to this, but then I'm looking at what would be an example of when someone would use rainbow or white light.
I'm going to get to that later. Yes, Joe? Left shoulder ache. I would say impinged nerve spine. Try that one. Yes?
Muscle weakness, generalized, legs.
I would say boost autoimmune.
What was that?
Muscle weakness in the legs. Okay, now I'm going to tell you what to do with the numbers. Put anyone who hasn't selected a frequency. Everyone's got a rate to try. Put the piece of paper with the rate onto the circle, the big circle. Keep your witness and the symptom on the small circle. Question?
Is there 2 pieces of paper?
You should have 3 pieces of paper. Your witness, your symptom, and the rate. Yes? Yeah. 3 pieces of paper, witness, symptom, rate. Yeah.
The symptom thing, I had written all 3. Is it okay, or should I separate it and put just the one?
Separate it. Yeah, unfortunately, I'd like to go through all 3 of your symptoms, but we're running short of time, so I want to just have you demonstrate what we're talking about so you can do the rest of this at home.
The frequency number is in the big circle, and then the 2, the signature, and the...
Yes, and the frequency actually could be in the small circle too. It doesn't really matter. As long as it's on the paper somewhere, that's all you need to worry about. Now I want you, once you've got the 3 pieces of paper in position, with the pendulum, ask the question, will this frequency benefit? It's a yes or no question. Will this frequency benefit this symptom or support the healing of this symptom? Will this frequency support the healing of this symptom? You should get a yes or no answer. Now, yes, I like it simple. I like yes to be yes, up and down, forward and back. Be right with you? I like no to be simple, side to side. Some people have clockwise as yes, counterclockwise as no. That's another option too. It's actually your symbol. Make it your own. But you want to ask a yes or no question because most of dowsing is yes or no questions. You want to have a symbol for yes, symbol for no. Raise your hand if the symptom improved with the frequency.
If it said it will.
It said just, yes. No, it does not.
Right. Symptom improved with the frequency. Okay.
Yes, no.
Got it.
Does that help that?
Hold on a minute. We've got a question up here.
Just confirming that none of the papers go in the middle of the number circle.
You can put the frequency in there if you'd like.
See?
I know it's this thing about we got to get it right. All right. All right. Raise your hand again if the frequency improved the symptom. You got a positive response. Okay. Raise your hand. Thank you. So that's actually more than half. Raise your hand if you got no benefit to the symptom. I got you. Okay, thank you. Now, here's the thing about rates. You can get well, I'm about to say infinite number. That's not quite true. But you can get thousands upon thousands of these radionic rates. Google radionic frequencies. And you will get the list from here to San Antonio and back. Amazing. And there are several different systems of frequencies that are available. You'll notice that Rainbow 44.4-22.2 is a different system. One's called a Kelly system, one's called I believe it's Copen system, but they're two different systems. It doesn't really matter. The point is, what would you use rainbow energy for? Tell me. Talk to me. Come on.
Sadness?
What's? Sadness. Good. Good.
Maybe like if you're lacking in creative inspiration.
Lacking creative inspiration? I'm surprised they're not more Irish in this room. Rainbows are very handy for cleansing the energy field. If you want to cleanse your energy field, be right with you. If you want to cleanse your energy field, stand in a rainbow. Now you can get it. I know you're going to chase one down on a rainstorm. Forget that. Right. You can get a prism and a crystal, and they will reflect rainbows, and it's gorgeous. And stand in one, and you'll see what happens to your energy field. Yes, please.
Pot of gold.
That's right. That's right. And if you have prosperity problems, stand in a rainbow. Right. That's.
How would you actually create that yourself? Like, is it you just
A crystal in the sunlight will.
like this kind of crystal?
If it's.
No, it has to be, it has to be.
Oh, a certain idea.
All right. How would you use white light? 1222. Yes. Okay. What's white light known for?
Healing.
Okay. What else is it known for? There it is. Cleansing. Now this is a very useful thing. When you are cleansing, consciously use 1222. If you're washing your hands, focus on 1222. If you're washing your food, focus on 1222 and notice what happens. If you want to cleanse something, just imagine it surrounded with 1222. By the way, anything that a radionics instrument can produce, and all a radionics instrument is a box with incoming energy and a bunch of rheostats on it so you can set frequencies. It also has what's called a well, so you can put a carrier substance like distilled water in the instrument. Excuse me, I'll just let you finish. Okay? You can put a carrier substance in the instrument, and the instrument will project the frequency into the carrier substance, the water, lactose pellets. Usually that's what's used. So that's all a radionics instrument is. If you do not think your own consciousness is at least as powerful as a radionics instrument, you don't have any sense of who you really are, because you can do this with your own mind. Now, I use a radionics instrument to create these remedies for clients, and they take the remedies 3 times a day, and they report amazing results. It comes from having worked with this for many years and cleared up a lot of the garbage that's been in my outer ego about what gets in the way of that doorway between the conscious and the subconscious. But access is there. We all have access to it. Please.
So, exercise we did, asking yes or no for if it's helpful.
Yes?
If you get a yes answer, then this is also creating the healing as well.
Yes, you can do that. Now, do we have just a few more minutes?
Yes.
Okay, then here is what I was hoping we'd get to. One moment, please. This is a radionics circuit. I'm just going to pass it out. We won't have time to work with it. But it has input and output. On the input, you'd put the piece of paper that's got the frequency on it. On the output, you'd put your witness. Use your pendulum to see how long your body wants it there. It might be 3 minutes, it might be 20 minutes, it might be 2 days. As it's in that circuitry, notice any suggestions you might be getting from the inner self about how you would like to change your consciousness. Here's a way you can experiment with it. I have found this to be very effective. It's just the circuitry that's used in creating a radionics instrument. It's an electric diagram. We'll just pass these down here.
Input frequency, output witness.
Say it again.
Witness, output, frequency, input.
Bingo. Did everybody get that? There we go. Yes?
Is any of this in any of your books? Giving you a little pitch here.
That's a very good question.
Yes.
Did you hear that question?
Yep, I did.
Is any of this in any of the books? Well,
So output is my name, me witness or something else?
input, frequency,
Yeah.
output, you.
Okay.
Thank you. Right, or witness. That's right. So, I'm going to wrap this up, and again, I apologize for the speedy nature with which we went through the last part of this material, but at least you have a working knowledge of how to use frequencies. Yes, you can do it mentally, but here is also a circuit. You can call me up, there's information there, and by the way, I'm going to get copies of the sign-in sheets. If you happen to put on the sign-in sheet under phone number or email address, if you happen to put on file, would you go back to that piece of paper and write it in for me, because I don't have the same files.
Oh.
Right. And one of the things that I am very avidly promoting in my life is to instruct young folk about the value of dowsing, about the value of melding our intuitions with our intellects. The world has a shortage of this. We need to let young people know that there are options other than just this straight, narrow, intellectual approach to life. Nandia's Copper is book 1 of the Nandia trilogy. In all of these books, there's discussion about dowsing and radionics. Thank you again. It is for the purpose of letting folks know that there are options out there to healing. The copper, of course, you now know what the whole copper story is about, right? Right. So it's a trilogy. They're available up here. I'm willing to be here as long as you'd like to ask questions and see me buy books until Bob says, Ned, you've got to go. Then I go. But thank you all again for being here and for your great attentiveness and curiosity. All it really takes for growth is not about punishment. You don't need to be punished in order to grow. All you need is abundant energy and optimism and curiosity, and we naturally grow. So I invite you to embrace that part of yourself and come back. When's our next meeting here?
Not scheduled yet.
Come back when you hear of the next meeting. It'll be even better. Thank you. Thank you.